I'm with John Nielsen, who's driving the Dane Blower V Stone with the Judd engine. John Nielsen, a former winner at the Le Mans 24-hour race. John, what do you get out of driving a racing car?
It's a passion that I've had since I was a boy, and I love the feeling getting into a car, doing the belts up, and be part of it. Feel basically the wheels, the two shoulders, my right hand shoulders, my right rear wheel, and left hand, so on. I just become part of the car, and it is fascinating to make that car work as you want it to work, to do the job for you, and become one.
What are the bits that you enjoy most, and what are the bits that maybe you don't enjoy so much about racing?
There's a lot of wasted time around it. Everything takes a long time. Not on the track, of course, but around it. The race weekend is long, and sometimes when you've been in it for 27 years or something like that, you sometimes just want to get on with it and do your job. And that's sometimes a little bit boring, but on the other hand, it's part of this world that we are in, and you have to accept it, and I do.
Are there any special character traits, aspects of your character that are important to being a racing driver? What are the bits that characterize racing drivers?
I think every racing driver would give you a different answer on that one. I don't know exactly, really don't. I mean, you have to be calm, you have to be realistic, you have to be able to pace yourself, and also be aggressive when need is. I think that those are the things.
Are you fearless? Do you have to kind of shut out fear from your character?
No, fear is always there, and any driver who says there's no fear, I don't believe that, because if I go slowly around Le Mans and I look at the circuit, I look outside the circuit, where if I go off here, what would happen? Yeah, then I really fear. I have fear, and I don't want to be at Le Mans. But when you're in the race car, all you concentrate about is that black piece of tarmac in front of you, and nothing else. And then there's no fear, because you don't see anything else. You only see where you want to go. You don't see where you would go if. So from that point, when you're at speed, there's no fear.
Looking back on your career, as you say, you've had a long career in race driving. Has there been times during that career when you've thought, I'm going to have to stop this, not necessarily because of fear, but because of, I don't know, money, fitness, other things? Have there been times when you felt that your career has stopped?
Every career, I guess, is a bit up and down, and so was mine, or is mine. And there's been maybe a couple of times where I thought, no, I don't really need that. For example, I think it was in '99 at Sebring. I had a massive big crash in the Panas, hitting the wall head on, and I just thought, I don't really need this. This is too much for me. And but then a couple of days later, you get back to normal, and you analyze what happened and so on. And the decision then is to continue, and then you don't think about it anymore.
Is that part, do you think, of what makes up the characteristics of a racing driver? I mean, never mind the actual driving on the circuit, but it's this ability to get out of an accident or get out of a situation, put it behind you and continue. Is that critical, do you think?
Yeah, it's very critical. The moment you get back in the car, if you've made the decision you want to continue, when you get back in the car, when you feel confident and you feel good in the car, you know you've made the right decision. So far that's been the case with me if I've had my doubts. The day that this will not be, then you have to stop.
You mentioned at the start that you get into the car and you feel as if you are becoming part of the car. Can you talk us through that a little bit?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like if you've been out all day in a cold, windy day, you're really cold, down to the bones. You get home, you fill the bath off hot and nice, and you jump in there. It's fantastic. That is the sort of feeling I get when I'm in the car. I become part of it, and I'm very fascinated by the technical side of it because a racing car is a tool for me to do my job. For a football player, he's got his boots, but the car is a lot more technical than the boots are. You can actually get the car to do a lot of your job. And to make that a unit and make the car do the work for you, that's very, very fascinating.
When you're driving, obviously concentration is very important, but what are you actually thinking about? I mean, is it purely simple mechanical things like changing gear, braking, steering?
I don't think as such. Here at Le Mans, you have to be careful not to start to think, because your thoughts can drift off. When you're out there on a lonely stint at night, sometimes you can be there. You don't meet anybody. You're just on your own. And suddenly, your thoughts, even though you are at your pulse is high and so on, your thoughts can drift off, and you make a little mistake, and then you wake up again. I try not to do that, or everybody has to try. Really, sometimes concentrate on not thinking about something else, especially at Le Mans. It's not the case in other races, but sometimes it can be a problem here.